In the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you. In the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you,
Hello everybody and welcome in to the NOMA Truck Series Live for All-Star Night and getting things kicked off with open qualifying. Different than usual, the drivers have got the starting grid set. Thank you all so much for tuning in. You are watching Austin Green on Ghost Racing Network. Let's get right down trackside and take a look at what will be your starting lineup here tonight. So there's a little bit of a different setup here tonight. Any drivers from the NOMA Super Speedway Series or the NOMA Truck Series had the opportunity to qualify, and as long as we got less than 40, they would all be guaranteed in, and this was just, of course, to set the starting order. So here we go. Justin Parham for Grandstand Racing. He will take the pole. It's going to be Zach Roethlisberger, one of the guys that, again, we don't see as a Truck Series regular. He will be rolling off from the outside pole tonight. Keith Prince back in third. It's going to be Michael Lawrence in fourth. David Traylor, winner from Kentucky just a couple weeks ago, will roll off fifth with Clinton Woodby to his outside in sixth. Clay Cantrell back in seventh, Chase Greer in eighth, Joey Hickox in ninth, and Brody Benty will round out your top 10. Wesley Phillips and Zach Stevens make up row number 6. Jay Stinson in 13th with John Lynch in 14th. Matthew Fritz, Dylan Pauls in row number 8. Sam Boutwell in 17th. Kenneth Redinger 18th. Derek Catt in 19th. Ryan Gomes rounds out the top 20. And DJ Weeks, another non-regular, we'll see him start this race here tonight from the 21st position. Race info, a little different as well. Again, it is the All-Star race, 70 laps in total. A short sprint here at Atlanta, 75% fuel, but only 2 sets of tires here tonight. It is fixed setups, only 1 stage, and it will be at the conclusion of lap 25, and then 3 green-white checkers if we were to need them. Atlanta Motor Speedway, just over a mile and a half in length. High banking in the corners. Again, it's only a mile and a half, but it races, and it's going to race tonight like you would see at Daytona or Talladega with a lot of drafting action. 127 degrees the starting track temp. It's going to be hot. It's going to be slick. With only 2 tire sets, still going to have to manage these tires a little bit. 72 degrees outside. Clear skies. Winds at 2 miles an hour. 10% humidity. And clear skies sets us up for a beautiful day of racing here at Atlanta. So Keith Prince, not sure if he had an issue here, what the deal is. See if we'll go an extra lap. We won't. So we will officially get this thing rolling. Here we go. All-Star night. Some of the best drivers in both series. And here we go. Green flag is in the air. We're racing at Atlanta. They cross the stripe to complete lap 1. It is going to go to Zach Roethlisberger. Oh, already almost 3 wide as Michael Lawrence tried to take a peek to the middle. Nothing doing. He'll slide back up in front of Clinton Woodby. 2x2 right now is, oh man, the 12 really struggling. Again, that hot track temp, while it's going to make more tire wear. 4 wide down the back. Hold your breath here. I know it's the All-Star race, boys, but we still got well over 60 laps to kill in this race. Man, these guys are going at it. Fireworks right from the get-go. And now most tracks, we would say that it's important to get as many positions as you can on the restarts. I personally think Atlanta's a little different. And especially with, again, how much tire wear we're probably going to see with this hot track temp. I think right now is the time to just manage your tires. And once they start to wear out, that's the time where if you can get a couple other people who have also saved tires, you'll be able to go up top and make something happen as everybody else will fade and try to drop down to the bottom. But right now, they remain 2x2 with Justin Parham right now leading the inside. A little bit of a different look on his truck as well here tonight. It's a good-looking scheme for the 19. Clinton Woodby third on the outside right now, tandemed up with those 2 just in front, almost able to get Zach Roethlisberger clear. And I think if you get clear at any point in this race from the outside, you might want to think about dropping down unless it's a restart with maybe 10 to go in the race. But any other scenario, I think you want to be on that inside lane here as the run, again, continues to go on. The 54 of David Traylor. Talked about him, of course, getting the win at Kentucky just a couple weeks ago. He's looking to see if he can maybe add on to that here with a win tonight. Again, this is not a points race, but, you know, hey, it's an all-star race, and I'm not sure if there's any little bonus cash payout on the line, but it is certainly a chance to gain some momentum as we set ourselves for the playoffs, which will begin next week. We'll talk more about what those tracks are looking like and what the points are looking like, and the round of 16 being officially locked up, what that's looking like a little bit later. But with there being, again, a stage break here on lap 25, and again, that will be the only stage break of the race. Another interesting twist is that race control tonight is going to have the opportunity to invert either the top 5, the top 10, or the top 15 at the end of the race. Or excuse me, the end of the stage, I meant to say. So it's going to be interesting to see. So, for example, right now, let's say race control decided to invert, we'll just say the top 5. Zach Roethlisberger would go back to 5th. Michael Lawrence would go back to 4th. Justin Parham would stay in 3rd. Clinton Woodby would go up to 2nd. And David Traylor would go up to 1st. And so that's the general idea. And you could extend that idea back all the way through your top 15, depending on how he decides to do it. I hope he does it through the top 15, though, because that means the big hitters who are up front are going to have to go towards the middle and back portions of the field and have to try to do it all over again. Further towards the back, we do have a couple people just riding around. Keith Prince must have had some sort of issue. We saw him pull in front of the pace car before this race started and haven't seen him since. He has disappeared, so tough break for Keith Prince, but again, not a points-paying race, so no penalty there. Kenneth Redinger, while he knows we have one fast spare, he is content with riding in the back. He saw the aggression in the opening laps and wants no piece of it. Oh, Boutwell tags the outside wall coming through the quad oval. This track, it's something that when you watch it from a broadcast perspective, you don't think much of it, but as a driver, it's very easy to do. Maybe not so much in the case here for Sam Boutwell, but anybody that's in this lead group on the outside line, for example, Joey Hickox, it is really easy to get into that outside wall when you're coming through the quad oval because it's not a smooth transition. You got to be constantly turning the truck down the front stretch right here. As watch. Notice what Joey does here. Puts a little wheel into it. If he doesn't, notice how quickly he gets close to that outside wall. It's very easy to make contact, and if you do, it's a good chance that you could damage that truck and potentially have to use that fast spare a lot sooner than you would like. Views from the gearbox cam. Oh, there it is. Joey Hickox getting to the outside wall that time as they entered onto the backstretch. But Clay Cantrell down 6 positions from where he started. The driver out of Bristol, Tennessee, though, making his, I believe this is his first All-Star appearance in the Truck Series. Don't believe we saw Clay last season in the trucks. Or if we did, I might have mistaken it. So nonetheless, though, up front, how about this? We said that guys who aren't used to running the trucks have the opportunity to run tonight. And Zach Roethlisberger, who I assume is coming over from the Super Speedway Series side, showing that he knows how to get it done at these big tracks. Again, not a plate track, but one that certainly races the same way. And being shown right now as he is up a position from where he started. And the driver out of Midland, Michigan, has already, I believe, led the most laps of this race as he continues to run on that front, or excuse me, the top groove up front. Now, eventually things are going to start to fade up there. Tires will continue to wear, and it's going to start to get loose for everybody. The Xfinity cars here have a tendency to get tight. The Cup cars have a tendency to handle overall pretty good, but maybe get a little bit on the tighter side. But the trucks are the one series that goes here that actually get loose. And oh, hold your breath here. 3 wide, Brody Benzie in the middle. You can make that work here, but it is tight. So far, so good as the 63 still in the middle. That's Chase Greer, last season's regular season champ, as he will let the 63 slide in line, and they go back to 2x2 now. Good to see everybody in the chat and watching here tonight. I hope you're having a good Saturday evening. As Nancy Hickok says, hey, Austin, glad to hear you again. Looking forward to a good race. Absolutely glad to be here, Nancy. Again, apologize for not making the last, I think it was 3 weeks. First week was, it was the first 2 weeks for vacation. The first Saturday I missed was, we were leaving at 2 a.m. the next morning, and so I didn't want to have to get no sleep. And then the next Saturday I was actually on vacation, and then the week after that, had a job event that I had to attend, so apologize for not being here. But nonetheless, glad to be back and glad to see everybody having a good time. Megan White says, let's go. Clinton Woodby currently runs in the 4th spot. Make it 5th now as he's going to drop back a position 3rd on the outside. And it looks like we're going to see some more 3-wide action here. The 31 in the middle. That's Jay Stinson trying to move up now. Clinton Woodby's going to jump to the middle as well. First time that we're seeing a lot of aggression here with a couple different guys trying 3-wide. It's tight here, but again, it's doable. Only one faster pair. The stage doesn't pay anything, and you get inverted. So I'm surprised to see everybody being this aggressive this early. Something's going to have to give sooner or later. Looks like it is going to be the 63 of Brody Benzie off of turn 2. Washes up a little bit. That allows Jay Stinson to get clear. Normally when you'd see those 3-wide moves here, I would expect people to jump to the outside. Looks like there's the most room up there right now, but that has not been the case. Most of the drivers, when they've decided to split out, it's been to the middle. And so you got to be careful if you're somebody who's up here in one of these top 3 positions to make sure you don't get too relaxed, kind of lulled to sleep. You got to make sure you're defending that middle constantly. Stay tight to that inside line. Zach Roethlisberger was not able to get clear to the bottom just yet. Gets another big push down the backstretch, and this time he'll get clear again, but doesn't take it. Got one off down low. That's the 10, it looks like, of Dylan Paws. Good to see him in the field here tonight. Dylan Paws, one of the Truck Series drivers that we've seen over, and of course, the Asphalt Outlaws Racing Truck Series and in the NOMA Truck Series. And it's a good-looking red, white, and blue scheme that he's got on his 10 truck tonight. And right now, he is up 9 positions from where he started this race at. So by far your biggest mover, especially inside your top 10. That's off again to Dylan Paws, who's looking to see if he could score his first victory of the season here tonight. Looking to slide up. That's going to put him 3 wide in the middle now. That's a little bit of a tough spot to be in, but he seems like he's feeling pretty comfortable right now. He's going to try to make it work. Here's the roof cam as he's able to get to the outside. Trevor Lawrence has not made any moves on the leader, Zach Roethlisberger. He's been doing a lot of pushing, and we're going to be coming to, looks like, just about 7 or 8 laps to go on the stage when we cross the stripe this time, and also going to be coming up on the first lap car of the night. And guess who? Keith Prince, who had those technical issues earlier here, is going to be the first car to go a lap down. It's another good-looking red, white, and blue paint scheme for Keith Prince, and even though he does go a lap down now, it's still early. You know, with this stage caution, if he can stay, well, I said 1 down, looks like he's actually 3 down, so he'll get 1 back at the stage break here if nobody else goes a lap down, and then going to have to hope for a couple cautions from there, and we know that is certainly a potential possibility. So I wonder who decides to take tires here on the first stage. It's you know, there's a little bit of a decision there to be made. 2 sets. You know, if you take one and this thing goes green for a little bit until we make it to that green flag pit stop, then I think it's a good call. But if we get, you know, a relatively early caution in the first 10 to 15 laps after we do go back green, then it starts to become interesting because you only have that 1 set left. Guys who maybe didn't take tires at the stage could take their first set then and still have a set left for the end. So it's just going to be interesting to see how everybody decides to go about it. And we'll see who makes the best decision in regards to it. Ryan Gomes running in the field here tonight. That is one of your Truck Series regulars. He's up 5 positions from where he started this race at. Wesley Phillips as well in the 46 truck. He currently sits in 10th, up a spot, and rounding out that top 10 right now. But Justin Parham continues to lead on the bottom. It hasn't been much contest so far, at least up front. The main moves we've been seeing have been for probably about 3rd on back. Now if we bring up the dashboard speeds, and again, look at the weather, 128-degree track temp has went up a degree since the start of this race, 12:20 sim time. But speeds being constant in the throttle trace and showing you right there, these guys are pretty much wide open, at least if you're leading, you are, around this entire 1.5-mile racetrack. Now, if you're not the leader, you do have to lift a little bit in the corners. First of all, to not slam the guy in front of you is pushing in the corners. Something that doesn't work here. Oh, Parham gets loose. Now he's going to get up the track, trying not to wreck as he got into the side of Roethlisberger. What a save. Ooh, he's got to be careful. David Traylor had the opportunity to split him. Maybe he's thinking about it again, but no, he'll cut the 19, another break here. And so I thought maybe it would be the top lane that was going to get out of shape first, but it's actually the bottom here that it seems like it's starting to struggle with some handling. So we'll see how everybody reacts to that here as Roethlisberger, again, still looks very, very poised up top. Almost a 6,000 I rating, and I think that would potentially explain part of it. He knows how to handle a truck here. Michael Lawrence doing a great job pushing this 2 truck. He's going to get clear again, but still content to ride up top. Doesn't feel like he wants to jump down, at least not yet. Don't be shocked if maybe coming out of turn 4, or excuse me, going into turn 3 on the last lap in the stage, if he gets clear, then maybe he thinks about dropping down. But the momentum still continues to be most prevalent up top. 23 laps complete. That puts us now with just 3 laps to go here in the stage. 3 wide further back. They're starting to get racy. Everybody realizing, again, there's no points on the line, but realizing that the field getting inverted here. If you can get yourself just inside that top 15 mark, you could potentially get track position here that would put you, I would say, anywhere inside the top 5 potentially. Again, depending on how many positions Race Control decides to invert. Zach Stevens in 12th. Another one of the fan favorites. Remember what he did in the Gen 6 series for its inaugural and only season that we saw before the Truck Series. Oh, man. Dylan Paws with a big moment. Now he's going to get up into the outside safer barrier. and you get loose, you correct the truck here, sometimes it's best to just maybe give that wall a little kiss and keep the truck in shape instead of trying to overcorrect the car and potentially taking a hard hit into the outside wall or getting turned around in the middle of the group. And here we go. Going to take lap 25. That means white flag in the air. 1 lap to go in stage 1. Roethlisberger still leads on the outside, but now it's going to be Justin Parham who gets a nose out in front. Oh, Roethlisberger hard into the outside wall. I think Michael Lawrence tried to do a little too much push. Now we got one going around out back. That's the 29. Multiple cars going to wreck. Will it bring out a caution? Yes, it does. Roethlisberger's involved as he's going to make a couple shots to the inside wall. Ryan Gomes is in it. The 29 of Matthew Fritz is in it. And Dylan Paws as well in the 10. He's got some damage. And so that will end the stage. Justin Parham crosses the line as your official stage winner. So now we'll have to see how the field gets inverted. But before we do so, let's go see where this all goes wrong. It's going to start with trouble for the 2 of Roethlisberger. And again, I think he may have got a little help here from Michael Lawrence. Maybe not, but it really would be interesting for that truck to jump out as much as it did without any help. So here we go. Watch this from... We'll go to the chopper view first, and there you see the 12 of Lawrence. Again, we talked about pushing the corners. It's tricky, not something you necessarily want to do here, but if you're going to try it, you better be dead center, especially when we're on old tires. But right there, he's getting a little bit loose. It's hard to tell, though, if Lawrence is actually making contact. It's really, really close, maybe getting him just a little bit aero loose and not necessarily touching him here. And from that angle, yeah, he's not hitting him. The 2's just loose. Lawrence might be getting him a little bit aero loose, but no contact there. And then the 2 just tries to correct it and gets up into the outside wall. Again, play that for you slow one more time. Watch how close they are, but there's not going to be any contact here until after the 2's already loose and going back up the racetrack. So right there he's loose. Slow that down one more time. So here you go. Watch the 2. Watch the front tires here. So the back end starts to slip. Now look at the correction. He's trying to get it to go back to the right. And as he does, just overcorrects a little bit, and that's what's going to get him up into the outside wall. Takes a pretty good shot, and then now it's as he's fading backwards here. Where's the trouble going to start? Matthew Fritz is on the apron here. Does he just spin out by himself? Yes, he is. So the 29 just gets loose. He's trying to save it, and then he does get a little help from Chase Greer, as the 8 just had nowhere to go. Zach Stevens was running into the back of him, and then the 10 of Dylan Paws gets into the 2. And Roethlisberger, and that's how he gets spun around. The 2 is going to go for a ride towards the inside wall. Tries to save it, then gets turned by Ryan Gomes, who also got collected. Show you the view here for Matthew Fritz as he saw all this unfold, and I think he thought it was going to be a wreck, which, I mean, fair to say, I think the rest of the field probably did, is he sees that, tries to go low here, misses it, but then see him get loose and then gets tagged here, turned around, and headed in the wrong direction. Good news for him is, though, that he didn't hit that inside wall too hard at all. As you see, he's got the Catman paint scheme. And a picture of the cat on the front. And then we'll go look at this couple more angles here. A couple of these guys. Here's the slide, and then for Dylan Paws. Don't think he really gets any damage from this one. Ryan Gomes, I know he certainly made some contact there with Zach Roethlisberger, but I think at the end of the day, Roethlisberger got the worst of this one. Right there's the contact to the left rear, and then left front takes a bit of a beating as well. So he comes to a grinding halt, turn number 3. So as we go back live, again, still waiting to see how much of the field's going to get inverted here, but as they come out of the pits, it's like Justin Parham being scored as your leader, David Traylor 2nd, Jay Stinson 3rd, Clay Cantrell 4th, and Joey Hickox in 5th. And looking at, again, who decided to go in here and take tires and fuel up, looks like everybody did. So tells you the strategy that these guys are all on, and about 75% fuel. If I had to guess for these trucks, that's probably maybe 30 laps or so. Maybe give or take 5 to 10 laps. So we'll see here when that next pit stop is. I'm thinking it's going to be maybe somewhere around lap 60 to 65. That's going to be close if they can make it all the way. I just don't think, though, they can quite go that far. Now, I know it would depend on how many caution laps we have, but there you go. Field's been inverted. Not sure the exact amount of positions they ended up deciding to do. I'm looking here as Parham's being scored back in 8th. Is he letting anyone else by? Maybe so. It might have been top 10. Point is, though, Kenneth Redinger is now being scored as your leader. Zach Stevens 2nd. Michael Lawrence 3rd. Chase Greer in 4th. Wesley Phillips rounding out your top 5. Let's see if we can get your stage 1 winner dialed up here real quick, Justin Parham. Hey, Justin, this is Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, well, the stage winner, again, no points necessarily awarded here tonight. The field got inverted, so, nonetheless, you got some laps led. How's the truck feeling out in front so far?
It felt fine. It gets a little tight on the long runs. You got to put a little more wheel in it to get it to turn, especially trying to get it to hold the bottom. It's always better if you can angle in instead of trying to enter from the bottom. But I don't know. We'll see how it's going to be back here in traffic.
And you don't necessarily have both of your teammates near you, with Kenneth Redinger being at the front. Now, looks like from what I know, the fuel window here is going to be a little interesting. Is it close? Is there any chance of making it all the way? Or is there going to be a pit stop here?
It's going to be close. We'll have to wait and see exactly after what we're looking like after this caution where they extended it. But it's going to be very close.
And so with it being as close as it is, how would that kind of change your strategy in terms of, do you try to immediately get back to the front here? Do you maybe ride around for a little bit and try to get some laps ticked off here?
Well, it's going to be hard to immediately get to the front just, because of the way the passing is here. But hopefully just kind of take your time and work your way to the front. And maybe that'll save enough fuel just taking your time on the way up there.
All right, well, again, congrats on the stage win. Been looking fast so far. We'll see if you can get back to the front, see if you can be the All-Star Race winner potentially tonight.
All righty, thank you.
All right, there you go, Justin Parham, driver out of Boiling Springs, South Carolina. I'll tell you what, before we get back green here, I think now's a good time as you see the lights go off. So just before we do get back green, let's talk about what your top 16 are looking like, as it has officially been locked in. Kenneth Redinger, David Traylor, Mark Beverly, Matthew Fritz, Bill Hales, Justin Parham, Kevin Winker, Clinton Woodby, Brody Benty, Riley Gomes, Chase Greer, Joey Hickox, Wesley Phillips, Keith Prince, Zachary Stevens, and Jay Stinson will be the round of 16 drivers that will start the chase for a championship next week. And again, the remaining schedule that we have left and what it's looking like. Again, tonight with being the All-Star break, no points on the line, and then next week we will head off to Nashville Super Speedway for the first race in the round of 16, and then Las Vegas will be the week after that for the second race in the round of 16. Then it's on to Chicagoland for the first race in the round of 8, followed by Kansas, and then the championship 4 race will be at Texas Motor Speedway. That'll be July 6th, by the way. Looking forward to that one. Texas was home to the championship last season, and what great racing it provided there. Looking forward to the great racing it will provide this season as well. All right, so it's officially going to be 40 laps to go here as we will take the green this time. Field in the hands of Redinger and Zach Stevens, new leaders. And final stage, here we go, green flag in the air. And we are back racing at Atlanta. Good restart for Kenneth Redinger. He is quickly going to pull away to about a truck length lead over Zach Stevens on the outside. Stevens and Chase Greer, that's 2 of the Venom Racing teammates. They're going to be able to get lined up here. Redinger, no block to be found, so those 2 get locked up on the outside. Watch for a big run. There they go. Stevens looking to see if he can get clear of the 24 before they get to turn 3. Not going to be able to do it. Oh, and Chase Greer, he tried to push him as hard as he could going off into 3 there, but had to bail out just a little bit sooner than he would like. And we saw how great Roethlisberger and Lawrence were working together up front on the outside. And the question is, can anybody match that chemistry that those 2 had in terms of, will this outside line be as fast now? Seems like Redinger's holding his own as the trucks dance around. Everybody's still on cold tires trying to get him up to temp. So you heard Parham talk about it'd be close on fuel. He said, but if you took kind of a methodical approach to getting back to the front, maybe you could make it. I'll tell you who's not. Oh, Lawrence, hold on to it on the apron. Yes, he does. What a save, as everybody else is going to be able to get around him. Michael Lawrence with a huge moment here in 3 and 4. He's going to lose the draft from it, but man, it could have been a whole lot worse. What a save from the 12. Does he get some help here? Does he just get loose? Watch it first from the tower view, and then we'll show you from the cockpit view. Here you go, playing it in full speed. No, he doesn't get any help, just gets loose. Again, that's that hot track temp. Tires are still cold. And, I mean, he didn't have really anybody near him there. The outside, he had plenty of space. Behind, he had plenty of space. So if that doesn't tell you that these trucks are a handful tonight, I don't know what does. But watch his hands here. gets out of the throttle, but also that's what he does right there. That's what makes this go from just a single car save to a big field wreck. Watch what you saw what he did with his hands. In fact, we're going to go to the rear chase. Try to play it slow for you. Watch what he does with his hands right here. So the truck goes down. Notice he doesn't try to oversave it here. Look at his hands. He's driving the truck to the left. Now, the reason he does that here, and it's such a veteran move, is he realizes that if he tries to go back right, even if he saves it, he's going back up into the field. He's going to get run into. It's going to cause a big wreck. Instead, he knows that the apron here is banked. So instead, just drive it onto the apron, and you're going to be able to save it. Unfortunately, though, as a result, he does lose the draft here, and he's going to need a caution to get back in this race. Back up front we go. Zach Stevens leading the outside still, but Kenneth Redinger fighting hard on the inside to hold him at bay. Brody Venti now the second truck in line. He looked a little bit loose right there. Wesley Phillips up to third on the inside. Clay Cantrell up to third on the outside. And there's David Traylor. Clinton Woodby going to get split 3 wide here. Dylan Paws in the middle looking for more. He has been picking guys off left and right by taking that middle line. Looks like he's not content yet. He wants a little bit more. And if you've had to pick an aggressive mover here tonight, it's been the 10, but it has been working out. Everybody keeps giving it to him, and he's not afraid to make the move. Oh, Cantrell's trying to slam the door here. Dylan Paws is trying to get everything he can, but it's not going to work, so he slides back up just behind the 88. We'll see if he looks for another move again, but that's what Clay Cantrell needs to do there. That's what anybody needs to do if you're going to fend off this 10 truck, is you got to try to close off the middle. You can't let that guy get to your inside if you're on this outside line. And oh, Dylan Paws, he made the move work again. That time, though, interesting what he did. He actually was able to get, looked like Cantrell a little bit loose right there. And as a result, he was able to get to the inside here. Cantrell, though, is going to hold a big side draft. Not going to work, though. The 10 able to get that spot as well. That moves Dylan Paws up to 6 now. And I know some of these guys have got to be taking notes on what he's doing. He's going to look for more here. Chase Greer is going to give him that spot as well. Look at this. Oh, Paws has to get out of the throttle. Now he's up into Chase Greer. Can he save it? He does. Chase Greer, though. Oh, man. Hold your horses. There he goes. Dylan Paws halfway around saves it again. And man, oh man, I think that was a couple of guys finally maybe having enough of the 10 truck. And all that ground he worked to make up just maybe got a little too greedy at the end, and he's gonna lose all of it as he falls back now to the 12th position. But watch this here, as I think this was just maybe trying to force a little too much here for Dylan Paws. He got 1, but he tried to get 2. And that's where it all goes wrong. Watch this here. He gets to the inside of Chase Greer, but then when they get into turn 1, he's going to try to make the dive, and Zach Stevens sees it and says, I don't think so. Paws tries to get out of the throttle, but as a result, truck gets a little loose, gets into the 63 and the 8. Now he's going to get loose. Wesley Phillips almost gets in the back of him. He's still trying to save it here, and then Clay Cantrell does get into the back of him. Saves it, lucky to not wreck the truck right there, but that's going to be a big setback. They're still almost wrecking. Oh, there goes Parham down the track. Oh, he's going to go around. Maybe. No, he saves it. No, now he goes into the outside wall. Big hit for Justin Parham as we will stay green. But big damage on the 19 truck as he has got major suspension damage. And this is going to be a pit stop. An unscheduled one for the 19. Man, Parham, who won the stage, got inverted. And this is a result sometimes of getting caught back in that traffic here. Where does it all go wrong here? And I'm not sure how these guys all lost the pack, but slowly, surely they did here. And here's what it looked like from TV2. Paws comes up, Parham tries to give him a shot, and they just never really get lined up square. And then Parham gets down the track, tries to save it over corrects, and then the truck back up into the outside safer barrier, and that hit was enough to, again, damage that suspension. So he's staying out here. Looks like hoping for a caution as he feels like it's not worth going into pit, but he's going to need one soon here. He could be in danger of going a lap down. See him down on the track map in that 20th spot. By the way, Zach Roethlisberger out of this race, it looks like, after the damage he sustained. But Michael Lawrence is actually in 20th. Parham's in 19th. So nobody a lap down anymore. I guess they allowed Keith Prince to get his laps back. But as we stay green, what that has done is it's split the whole field up. As a matter of fact, Zach Stevens still being scored as your leader. Redinger in second. Brody Venti to his outside in third. Then you've got Clay Cantrell fourth, Clay Cantrell in fifth, Wesley Phillips sixth, Jay Stinson seventh, Joey Hickox eighth, Derek Catt in ninth, John Lynch 10th. By the way, it's good to see John Lynch back out here tonight. Different looking paint scheme. It's what we're used to seeing, but one of the Spino Racing drivers in the Gen 6 series. Saw him last season a bunch in the Truck series. We see him making a return here tonight. Ryan Gomes in 11th, Dylan Paws who is that first truck who is not with the leaders. He's in 12th, but it looks like they were able to hang within drafting range, or at least they've caught back up. And so he'll pull Boutwell and Trailer, along with, looks like, a couple others here, including the 29 of Fritz, Clinton Woodby, DJ Weeks, and Keith Prince, all back into this lead group. So what initially looked like a big split of the field with a couple of close calls is going to result in this whole pack getting lined back up, and we're going to have a big group again here before we get to lap 50. And getting ready to get within 25 laps to go here at Atlanta. And that is when crunch time starts to kind of be felt by most of these drivers. But with the way they're racing, I got to think the strategy is pretty set in stone, at least for most of them. It's either they're going to need to pit here or they're making it all the way. And from the way Justin Parr made it sound, I would almost think that everybody racing up here as much as there would have to pit. But let's hop on board here with a couple people towards the middle of this pack and hear how much they can save. Ooh, a lot of out of throttle time is, oh man, Zach Stevens. Not sure if he was trying to slide up or just got loose, but Chase Greer had to bail out of the throttle big time. Man, oh man. Redinger continues to lead that outside. That seems like it has been the safest line so far all night. Oh, Stinson gets down the track. Could that be trouble? We got one on the apron. It's the 13. Looks like he's going to save it as everybody will work their way around. And was that Derek Cat? Yes, it was. And so Cat will merge back at the end of the group. Is he going to be able to hold on to the pack here? It's going to be close. He's falling pretty fast. He's got to get back up to speed and stay within a second and a half behind Keith Prince to be able to have a chance at sticking with these guys. And it looks like he's going to be able to, so good news there for Derek Cat. They continue to duel it out side by side up front. All right, with just 24 to go, we are going to go take our one commercial break here of the night before things get too exciting, but we're going to go side by side, so stick with us. We'll be right back at Atlanta. Welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway for the NOMA Truck Series All-Star Race. Coming closer and closer to the finish here with just 18 laps to go as they cross the stripe. And up front, Kenneth Redinger still your leader. You saw him have to make a couple moves there while we were on break, but still leading the top, still looking comfortable as Zach Stevens and company start to get looser and looser on the bottom. Now, it's interesting that you heard Parham say it was getting a little tight. Now, it does get tight in the sense of truck wants to wash up the track, but then as you try to put more wheel into it, that's when it starts to get on the looser side as Stevens, you see there, starts to wash up off that red and white line as they get into the corner and then is able to arc it back down by the time they get out of the corner. Redinger and Brody Benty going to get linked up. That's another big push for the 24 as that slip-up could have potentially cost him the lead on the outside, but he'll hold even. Oh, he's going to go around. Benty turns him. Into the pack he goes. This will be the big one at Atlanta. The big one strikes as everybody scatters to try to miss it. We still got trucks wrecking. Oh, more contact for David Traylor. As this one's a mess. Look at them all. I mean, this is half to 3/4 of the field that gets in this. Just 17 laps to go. Well, that'll answer the question of a green flag stop. It's not going to happen now, as I think everybody will come and take tires, top off on fuel. We're going to race this thing out to the finish, but oh man. Brody Benty, think that was just a push in the corner there. Could be wrong, so let's go back, but that's what it looked like in real time. Or just the 24. It looked like he got a push into the corner here. Let's watch this all the way from where it starts here. Again, this is getting into turn number 1. Already a sketchy spot on the racetrack. And watch Brody Benty here. He's on the back bumper. He gave him a great push down the stretch. But then as you get into the corner here, especially on old tires, you got to back off. And just doesn't look like Brody really ever does. And now he's gotten the 24 loose. You got to check up. Just doesn't. Gets into the back of the 24 right there. That sends Redinger around. There's nothing he can do. Benty is going to be able to sneak by on the outside. But then as Redinger gets back down into traffic, I mean, it's on from there. And look at the trucks that this one's going to collect right here. This thing gets ugly. You see the 46 of Wesley Phillips nowhere to go. The 5, the 10 get run into. That's Jay Stinson. There you see even Joey Hickox. He gets involved as he's going to wash up the track. I mean, it's easier to count the cars that weren't collected in this one. As there's the contact for Joey Hickox. Let's go back and look at this in real speed here from a couple different angles before we slow it back down again. As Joey tried to sneak around on the bottom, but he's going to get hooked here by Clay Cantrell coming down. Big hit for both of those trucks. And then further back, you see David Traylor, Ryan Gomes, and guys trying to sneak through this. There's Matthew Fritz and Traylor getting collected. Clinton Woodby, I think he makes it through this. Yes, he does. So that's just a product of, again, it's getting late and everybody's getting aggressive. It's go time, and that's a really tough break for Redinger, who it seemed like was really doing everything right up to that point, but just gets collected right there kind of as an innocent bystander. And play that one for you again a little bit slower as we watch this from TV1 here. As he gets down, Chase Greer's trying to dodge him, but when you get turned from the top, it's going to be tough to try to miss him there for majority of the field. As, I mean, it's a good thing that most of the drivers still have their fast spare because they're going to need it after this one. There's Cantrell and Hickox getting locked together. That's what's going to send those two. Again, huge hits into the outside wall for Wesley Phillips as well there. And then see the 05 of John Lynch. He got turned down the racetrack. Not sure if he actually hit this inside wall. Nope, doesn't look like it. But he does get some contact there from Ryan Gomes. I want to go to one more view here of this before we go back live. And it's going to be an onboard view with the 88 machine of Clay Cantrell. We saw get involved in this. Let's take a look here. He's trying to shoot by the outside, almost makes it, and then just gets clipped at the end. All right, so as we go back live, field is shuffled up and now double filed up. So we get ready to go back green, and the top 5 as it stands right now, Brody Benty, Zach Stevens making up the first row, Sam Boutwell, Jay Stinson in the second row, and then David Traylor rounds out your top 5. Good news is all the trucks that were involved in that wreck look cleaned up. Problem is, though, they lost track position, and with just 13 to go here when we take the green, let's see how many people decided to take tires here. Looking at the stats. Under that caution, it looks like we had a pretty good amount of them that came into the pits. Of course, a lot of those for damage, but I think everybody just about here. I don't know if we had anybody that decided to not take that last set of tires. But if they didn't here, we get another caution in maybe 5 laps or so. There could be some strategy in that, but here we go. It's going to be all about track position from here. There's no more helping guys out. This is going to be 2 and 3 wide, through and through. Green flag back in the air. 13 laps to go in the All-Star race. Great restart for the outside, not so much for the inside. Still struggling to get up to speed is Zach Stevens. And he clearly missed a shift there, and that is going to drag probably about half the pack way back as Brody Benty already working his way off at turn number 2. And then Sam Boutwell tandemed up, pushing out in front. Problem is, once that group catches up, which they will, they are going to have a big run on these two. Highest running position tonight for Boutwell, up 15 in total from where he started this race at. As we zoom out to the blimp cam, there you see out back, and you know, I talked about it was going to be 2 and 3 wide, but now these guys don't really have that opportunity yet because they need to track down these 2 leaders first. Looks like they're going to get here right now, and there goes the 33, Zach Stevens, looking for a slingshot to the outside. Gets up the track now to 31 of Stinson's going to look to the inside. Does Jay move up? No, Boutwell's going to go up top now as well. Stinson chooses the bottom. He's going to try to push Brody Benty clear so that he can have a chance to maybe jump up and make a move for himself. Nothing doing though right now as he still remains trapped on the bottom behind the 63, but what a move for Boutwell as he's going to take the lead. Stevens looks for a split, nothing doing. Down into turn number 1, 11 laps to go. Stinson, oh, Brody Benty's going to go around back into the group. He goes. And another big hit, this time though just for the 63, as it looks like majority of the field is going to be able to miss this one. As Brody Benty will come to a stop along the outside wall, and he'll get it back going. And, you know, I feel like it's, and again, this is no hate on Brody Benty, by the way, I promise. Brody's a great guy. I love seeing him out here. But it almost feels like that was maybe, I don't want to say poetic justice, but just kind of one of those things where just about every truck behind him got involved in that last wreck. And so it feels like it'd only be fitting that somehow he's the only truck that gets involved in this wreck. So let's see what happens here. I think it's just, again, guys late in the race going for it. I think he's just going to get loose here on the inside as they get down into the corner here, and I don't really like that view. We'll go to the chopper. He gets up the track a little bit here. I'm not sure if he's trying to hold the side draft on Boutwell or if the truck's just washing up the track on him here a little bit. Let's go to the cockpit view first. Watch as they get into the corner. That's hard to say in terms of it. Like I said, if he's trying to hold a side draft on Boutwell or if the truck is just getting tight on him, but once it does here, he's just going to suck him around. There might have been a little contact, yep, to the left rear of Boutwell, and then once he gets turned around, just nothing doing. Actually, wasn't the only car involved. We saw Keith Prince get some pretty heavy damage there. It looks like Michael Lawrence also may have piled in as well. So get a couple different looks at it here. This is from TV3. There's the big hit for Keith Prince. Nowhere to go. Matthew Fritz, I think, got some damage as well. This from the tower view. This might show you right here. Stinson's going to try to miss him, get on the brakes, but just can't get on the brakes enough in time. And then once Stinson washes up, does Cantrell make some contact? No, he doesn't. Nice job by the 88. And there's the big hit for Keith Prince and Matthew Fritz. Give you one more look at this here from the static view. And man, I don't know how that didn't collect more guys than it did, because from where it happened, you would have expected that to collect a lot more drivers, but nonetheless, a lot of people get away really lucky on that one. So Brody Benty, he's going to go take his one fast pair. He's got that truck all cleaned up, and then now he's going to be in the same position a lot of other people were in for that last restart, and that is with the task to try to gain a whole bunch of positions in just a few laps. Looks like it's going to be either 6 or 7 laps to go, depending on if we get the one to go this time or not. Look at this. Sam Boutwell for Grandstand Racing. It was a rough night up to that last restart, but he took advantage. And here he is. He's got himself in the lead, potentially with a chance to grab his first win of the season here tonight. Everything is able to go in his favor. And so as we get ready for the restart, let's see how Sam Boutwell's feeling here. Hey, Sam, this is Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Gotcha, Austin.
Well, getting ready for what could potentially be the final restart in the All-Star race here tonight, and here we go. You find yourself out in front on the outside. What's kind of the mindset and the game plan now to try to hold on to this lead for the next 7 laps?
I think it's just to try to keep the tires under me and try to keep both lines 2 by 2 behind me as best I can, and try to conserve tire, but just in case there's another restart or two here. Can't be too sure. Everybody's starting to get super aggressive here at the end. So step one's gonna be make it out in one piece, and then step two, see if we hold on to the W.
Sounds like a pretty good plan to me. We'll see if it's able to pull through. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, Austin.
There you go, Sam Boutwell. He's certainly right about the aggressive part. Now I think it's the point where as long as everybody gets a good restart and able to fire off well, it's going to be all take, no give at this point. That's what it's the All-Star race, right? Again, there's, to a degree, of course, you still can get people upset with you, but in terms of points, standings, penalties, whatever you want to call it, there's not really much that can be affected here tonight. This is just go all out, see if you can grab a little extra momentum before we go into the postseason. And here we go again. We have got to make it to the white flag for this race to be official, and that's still going to be 6 laps away because it will be officially 7 laps to go. Green flag back in the air, and it's a good restart for Sam Boutwell. Stevens again. Big struggle as he gets on the throttle. I'm not sure what is going on here for Zach Stevens. If they just got that better of a jumper, if he's missed a gear, but nonetheless, looks like he's been able to try to get back up to speed here. Stinson working with him again. The 05 of John Lynch will get clear on the outside. It looks like he's going to stay up top for now with the 24 of Kenneth Redinger. Side by side back towards the middle portion. Sam Boutwell all by himself. He's going to have to do some defending here. Looks to the bottom. Oh, he didn't make the move in time. Redinger with a big push to John Lynch. Can he get the 05 clear? Yes, he does. John Lynch, new leader at Atlanta. 6 laps to go. That outside line is going to try to recover, but I think that Kenneth Redinger is going to make a move out there when either Stevens gets clear and tries to jump out. Nope, never mind. He's going to go right now. Well, he looked for it. Now Stevens will jump out. Zach Stevens with the big move to the outside. Can Redinger jump out as well? Yes, he does. There goes the 24. Zach Stevens now back to the bottom. Trying to get the 05 clear and himself, but can he do it now? Looking 3 wide up top. It's Clay Cantrell trying to get back down in line. Oh, man, Joey Hickox had to cut him a huge break right there. 5 laps to go now, and you can tell that everybody is getting really antsy here. The 88 looks for another run. Joey Hickox has to cut him another big break. Down the backstretch they go. The outside now with a big charge of Sam Boutwell. Going to try to get the 24 clear. Can he do it? He does, but Redinger not going to go up just yet. Or excuse me, go down just yet. And by staying up, that's going to keep Sam Boutwell at bay. No move to be made there. John Lynch, though, still kind of stalled out on the bottom. He's waiting for a push. Now they're going to stack up. This will get the 47 and the 88 clear. Who goes to the bottom first? Boutwell looking for a move. Now he's going to dive to the inside. Redinger, nothing he could do, couldn't defend it, and now he's not going to be able to hold off the charge, but Boutwell, he's going to have to do some defending of his own right here. Where does he go? He's up top now. Does Redinger try to split him? No, the 24 will stick to pushing. Now they're going to stack up again. I thought for sure that was going to result in a pile-up right there as Joey Hickox. That truck, I think the rear tires got lifted off the ground, but he's able to hold on, and now that brings us to just 3 laps to go. Oh, the 05 with a push went under the apron there. I don't think you're allowed to go into there to advance your position. He did not. Gave that spot right back. So John Lynch in third. He would like to get clear here, but how about this? Clay Cantrell. He's the next candidate that has a shot here if he wants to jump up top. Doesn't look like he's wanting to take it just yet, and now he's not going to have the opportunity to as Redinger draws back even here through 3 and 4. This is coming to 2 laps to go. This is the last lap for a caution if we are going to get one. They continue to try to fan out. Hickox looks back to the middle, gets loose. He'll dive back to the inside. Up front, though, Redinger leads him up top with the lead pusher of Jay Stinson. On the bottom, it's Sam Boutwell with the lead pusher of Clay Cantrell. On to the backstretch. Nobody is looking 3 wide yet. Cantrell with a huge surge of momentum thanks to the push from Stinson. Got him clear just momentarily, but it wasn't enough for him to take the position. And so Redinger will remain up top. Boutwell will remain on the bottom, and this race is official. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go in the All-Star race. Redinger gets clear. At what point does he think about dropping down? You know that Stinson might be thinking 3 wide at some point unless he can get him and that 24 clear to jump down low. Final time down the Atlanta backstretch. They are 3 wide. Clay Cantrell in the middle. Sam Boutwell still on the bottom. There goes Jay Stinson. Clear by just enough. He's going to take that spot. Big run on the bottom. They're going to wreck. Big time out back. But up front, is it going to be a drag race? Boutwell looks to the inside. Not going to do it. Jay Stinson wins the All-Star race at Atlanta. As they get airborne out back, the 31 of Jay Stinson timed it perfectly, and he comes home a winner. What a finish. Boutwell tried, just couldn't quite get there, but man, what a finish it was here. Let's back up and show this move here again for Jay Stinson. Saved it for the last lap, classic super speedway fashion. And I mean, when I say he was not clear by much, I'm talking probably inches right here. Watch as he jumps down. Oh my goodness. I don't know if Boutwell ever lifted, but if he didn't, I cannot believe that Stinson did not get turned off the nose right there. That's how close it was. But he was able to make it stick, and when that move was made, Redinger just no help. He's got a teammate behind, but just not able to get there in time, and that allows Jay Stinson to just have to do a little bit of block and work on 47, and he comes home a winner. But before we go look at your finishing results, look at this wreck out back here as Keith Prince, I think it was, he got airborne. This was a big-time wreck. There's a 54. Oh, my goodness, Keith Prince. Huge air time as they work towards turn one. See if we got that on the static cam. This will do it justice, showing just how much air Keith Prince got right there. I don't think it's going to show it here. How about from the pit lane view? Watch the 03 truck here. As trailer comes down, he's going to get hit. Look how high up the 03 goes. But it is Jay Stinson who was victorious tonight in the All-Star race. He is burning it down. And as he does so, we look at your finishing results here on the night. Jay Stinson, your race winner. Sam Boutwell finishes in second. Kenneth Redinger in third. Justin Parham fourth. John Lynch in fifth with Zach Stevens in sixth. Brody Venti back in seventh with Clay Cantrell in eighth. Joey Hickox ninth, and DJ Weeks rounds out your top 10. Wesley Phillips back at 11th. Clinton Woodby in 12th. Matthew Fritz 13th with Ryan Gomes in 14th. Derek Catt back in the 15th spot. David Traylor in 16th. Keith Prince back in 17th. Rounding out the top 18 tonight is going to be Chase Greer, Michael Lawrence 19th, and Dylan Paws finishes in 20th. Zach Roethlisberger rounds out the field tonight as he finishes in 21st. All right, we're going to go get your top three in here for interviews. Stick with us. We'll be right back at Atlanta. All right, back live at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're going to start first tonight with your third place finisher, Kenneth Redinger. Kenneth, this is Austin in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, you bring home a podium finish, man. It looked like you had it in the bag until that last lap. Was there anything else that you feel like you could have done differently to try to fend off the 31 there?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was just banking on him not getting clear of, I think it was Boutwell on the bottom there. So I think he just barely got clear. It was within an inch, and I knew he would probably try to take the bottom, and it looks like they had a mishap also behind. I think I had Justin behind me, but he got shoved 3 wide, so he couldn't exactly get to my bumper. So it was kind of tough from there once he got to the bottom. But overall, it was pretty good. Come back and have a shot at it after that crash there. I had something go wrong with the steering wheel. It lost force feedback, and then when it came back on, the next corner it just wiped out. So I don't know what happened there, but it was good to come back and at least have a shot at it.
Absolutely, and rounding out, I wouldn't say the regular season, but the All-Star break with a podium finish, certainly a good way to go into the playoffs. So before we let you head out here tonight, is there anyone you'd like to thank or shout out?
Just shout out to Jay and them for putting this on for us. It's been a kind of a lengthy few weeks off here, so this gives us something to do here. And shout out to you for broadcasting for us.
Thank you, of course, for talking to us up here in the booth. Congrats again on the third place finish, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, and now that'll bring us to tonight's second place finisher, Sam Boutwell. Sam, this is Austin in the booth. Got a copy?
I got you.
Well, you come up just a little bit short, but it seemed like, man, the aggression level we saw there in the last couple laps, you kind of predicted it, and there was a lot of moves being made. And kind of break us down what was kind of happening from your point of view and where things kind of maybe, I don't want to say fell apart because it's still a great finish, but where you felt like you kind of couldn't get the lead anymore.
I thought I made the right move whenever I cut back inside of Kenneth, and we were, two teammates controlling both lines and controlling the pushes. But when Cantrell started going up middle 3 wide, it just kind of changed the runs up so much that Jay got just clear enough that he was able to drop in front of me, and that was still fun. It was just one of the things. It was a great move by him, so I got to definitely congrats to Jay. And then we were actually just talking about it just a few minutes ago. I was like, we definitely made contact coming in the dog leg, coming to the line, but it's the all-star race. It's all for fun. I'm not going to hook the guy this close, even though we're right here at it. If it was for points, it may have been different, but this is the all-star. We're going to have fun.
Certainly fun to watch all night. Well, I'll tell you what, before we let you head out here tonight, is there anyone you'd like to thank or shout out?
I just want to thank you first off for doing this great broadcast, doing an amazing job. Thank Jay and Joey for hosting this amazing league. Teammates Justin and Kenneth, because we're always figuring out a way to run together and run up front. And of course, sponsors, all Jimmy Grande and Icy Fog, always staying with me, helping me pay for all these schemes I do and keeping me employed and making me money to do this.
Absolutely, and thank you for talking to us here tonight. Congrats again on the second place finish, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, and now that'll bring us to your race winner for Venom Racing. It's Jay Stinson. Jay, this is Austin in the booth. Got a copy?
Hey, Austin. How's it going, man? I got you.
Good. Well, you get the win, and you timed it perfect. I feel like it's classic Super Speedway fashion to make the pass on the last lap. And when I say you were clear by inches, I mean it literally. I don't even know if it was by that much. What was going through your mind to make that move, and how are you able to make it in such perfect time?
I would say more luck than skill and timing. I saw Redinger up top kind of by himself, so I shot up and got behind him. And my goal was, if he would let me, would be to push him out front to get me clear in front of Sam. And as soon as it showed me clear, I shot down in the turn. And by the time I got there, I was talking to Sam. You couldn't have fit a piece of paper between our bumpers. He said he got a 0x from it, and I had to apologize there because I definitely didn't want to cause no wreck. But I did. I had to take the only shot I had at it right there at the end, and it all worked out. Everybody kept it straight for the most part. Me and Sam were able to keep it straight and go 1, 2, 3. So I was pretty excited. It was a fun race. I hope everybody enjoyed it. That's what this was about, just an all-star race to come out and have fun and try something different. So I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope the fans that were watching enjoyed it, and I hope you had a good time broadcasting, buddy.
Certainly did, and it's an all-star race. May not be a points-paying race, but it's still a race win. And how's this momentum going to kind of help carry over to the playoffs that get started next week?
Yeah, I hope it carries. I'm excited with these 16 drivers that we have. We always have like a good, solid group that show and come and have a good time and put on a good show. And I really enjoy all the guys we race with. Great group of guys. For the most part, don't put yourself in bad spots. Very courteous and respectful. So you couldn't ask for a better group to run with. So I hope the win for the team and everybody just propels us forward and gets us rolling in the right direction and sets that up.
All right. Well, before we let you head out here tonight to celebrate in Victory Lane, is there anyone you want to thank or shout out?
Absolutely, man. You for broadcasting, as always. You always do a great job. Always like to go back and listen to these things and watch them, and definitely go back and watch this one. Manny Rays, this is his race. We really appreciate everything he does. So Raymond, we appreciate you, man. I know you're out there listening and watching. So we appreciate you and everything you do for NOMA. All our other sponsors, from Blue Ridge to Rhino Linings of Bristol to Flatwoods, H&H, Allstate, just all these people that get involved and help us out and allow us to do what we do. You got M&M Pets, which Matt Fritz's mom's company, come on board this year. So we appreciate her and everything she does as well. And then Nancy for watching. I see her in the chat there. So we appreciate Nancy for watching always and commenting and being there to support us. So we love you, Nancy. I hope you enjoyed the race.
And there you go. Go ahead.
Nope. And then my teammates. We had some extra ones in there from M&T that ran in there, just had some fun. But Zach, Chase, Matt, Joey, Clay ran in there with us along with Derek. So had a great night. It was fun, and I just want to thank those guys for a fun night.
And thank you, of course, for talking to us. Again, congrats on the win, All-Star winner, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Thanks. Appreciate you.
Oh, didn't mean to cut him short there, but nonetheless, Jay Stinson is your race winner here tonight at Atlanta. Man, what a race it was, as he said it. A couple cautions, but overall, pretty clean and a fun one to call. Hope everybody in the chat enjoyed it again. We'll be back next Saturday for the start of the playoffs. Make sure you don't miss out on that. It's going to be another good chase for the championship. That'll do it tonight for me, Austin Green, here on Ghost Racing Network. Until next time, have a good night.